Now I would request Chitta Da from Netherlands to share a few words.
Jai Guru. Bande Lopatilakan Sattva Vibhushan Amara Kritisparanam Prabudam Lokajivanam Pranaya Pramata Jagadipanam Bande Jivanam Jivana Satpurusatam. Jai Guru, all of you. Thanks for giving me an opportunity to talk in this e-Satsang. So I thought that, to present a little bit in a non-traditional way. So for that purpose, I just prepared the slide. And another reason also, I'm a bit comfortable on presenting slide. So in Hindi, we have a word called Jaisa An Vaisa Man. So I'm just a little bit extending that Satwik Aahaar, Satwik Vichar, and Satwik Vyawahaar. So the Aahaar, that means the food, is very crucial to your thinking process, and that thinking process also has an implication on your behavior. So in my talk, I will mostly focus on the Aahaar, the food, what should we eat. So the Guru Bhai who are strictly following Swasthayani Sadachar, for them this is not a new thing, because every day-to-day life they are practicing. So my talk may not be, or I would say my talk will be more kind of, to give them a reason that they practice what they are doing every day. It has a meaning. But for the Guru, those who are thinking to take Swasthayani, or those who are trying to get some inspiration whether should we take Swasthayani or not, probably this can be a motivation for you. So for last 3 to 4 months, we have been grilled with this pandemic, COVID, and still it is continuing. And this pandemic is not something, for the first time we are facing. If we closely look at our history for the last 2000 years, we have been, facing this pandemic, one after another and another. And in each pandemic, actually, we are learning something, then we are forgetting, and because of that, again it is happening, and it is keep on happening. And I am pretty much sure that this is not going to be the last pandemic, and we are going to witness more and more. There is, kind of nice study the reason why this pandemic, what are the root causes to all this pandemic. And I found there are 3 root causes. One is eating habits, or the diet, what we eat. And this COVID is also belongs to that category, because we have read news that, it was outbreak from a wet market, the meat market. There are other also reasons like drinking and cleanliness. So is it something that we don't know what we should eat, or we are not totally aware about that? Or is spirituality something is going to tell us, can it guide us that what we should eat and what we shouldn't eat? Yes, spirituality has already told us. If we see, if we look to our Vedas, in last 5,000 years ago, in Bhagavad Gita, it is presented. The Lord Sri Krishna, he presented on the chapter. You can see my screen, chapter 17 and verse 8. So it's like this: Ayu Sattva Bala Rogya Sukha Priti Vivardhanaha Rasya Snigdha Stira Hudya Aahaar Satwika Priyaha. So what does that mean? It means the food dear to those in the mode of goodness increases the duration of life, purify one's existence, and gives strength, health, happiness, and satisfaction. So such foods are juicy, fatty, and wholesome, and pleasing to the heart. So we should always eat those type of food. And interestingly, in the next verse, it is also mentioned what we shouldn't eat. So the verse says, Kattam lalavana trusna tikshna ruksha Hinah Rajasasesa Dukkha Soka Maya Pradaha. So the food that are too bitter, too sour, salty, hot, pungent, dry, burning are dear to those in the mode of passion. Such food causes distress, misery, and disease, and we should avoid those kind of food. So this is directly, given by the Lord Krishna, and it was 5,000 years ago. But we, the human beings, we have forgot those things. We don't read Vedas or we don't read Holy Scripture, and that's why we are bewildered that what to eat and what not to eat. So what our Thakur says, our Thakur also reiterated the same thing but in a different way. And there are many verses available, but I just took one verse from the book called Chalasati, and I just put in Odia language, but in your respective language, I'm sure you will be able to find it, and it is the verse number 236. I will just summarize what it says. So basically, we shouldn't eat those kind of food which give us unnecessary excitement or which hit up our body. We should avoid those kind of food. We should only eat food just to quench our hunger. We shouldn't eat too much. That if we eat, you will feel laziness. So we should avoid those kind of food. And apart from that, Thakur also given us a lot of kind of principles that what we should and what we shouldn't do, sadachar. So basically, we shouldn't eat together in one plate. We should avoid those kind of things, and we shouldn't eat the leftover of another person's food. While drinking, we shouldn't touch this glass to our lips. We should always avoid non-vegetarian food like chicken, fish, other stuff. We shouldn't wear the cloth, dirty cloth or the clothes of others. There are also many good practices. Some of them I have listed here, that we should always clean our hands. And I'm sure for after last 3 to 4 months, we are pretty much habituated with this, practice, washing our hands. It is very pity that, we have to wait for a pandemic to teach us that, we should wash our hands. And I hope that after this pandemic, we are going to continue this habit that we should wash our hands. But apart from that, we should also wash our plates before, taking our food. Another point is fasting, that this is a very nice concept we should practice, and there are many scientific articles are also available why we should do fasting. So these are all, spiritual talks, but let's also little bit go into the science, what science says, what research says. This is what I found that from this article, that in the year of 1960 or 1970, it was saying that if you are a vegetarian, you are most likely have a problem of nutritional problem. And that status has changed, that in 1990, it is projected, okay, if you are eating meat and other stuff, you have also a risk of nutritional and health status. But in 21st century, now it is science is or research is saying that if you are a vegetarian, then you are actually in a good state or in a good condition. And that's what now research is proposing, and probably you will see in a Western country, you will see the vegetarian is getting more and more attraction. And some people are adopting vegetarian and vegan also. There are also a couple of research articles, those who likes to read, you can also read this kind of articles. So what I found that, the food, what we eat, it has the chemical composition and it can affect the chemical composition of our brain and it can alter our mood. This multi-nutrient food can affect the production of neurotransmitters. And these neurotransmitters are like messengers which carry signals from one cell to another. Deficiency of this neurotransmitter can cause stress, anxiety, and other diseases like Parkinson and Alzheimer's. So these fruits and vegetables, eating these habits can reverse this age-related memory loss. So the research is also backing us our old age practices, our spiritual practices, that being a vegetarian, following the path of ahimsa, that our food, we shouldn't eat such thing which causes harm to animal. And this is a very nice thing also. This is a guideline by the guideline by the American government, that so this is a recommendation to Americans that what should be their dietary guideline from 2015 to 2020. You can also go to this website and you can find. And what they recommend that the plate, you should divide your plate such a way that it should contain some fruits, grains, proteins, and vegetables. And you should also take some dietary. And there is also a very nice app if you want to practice. If you are confused that based on your age what should be the food, you can also use this app, and it is very handy. Actually, I install it in my app also. So this can also help you to have a very balanced diet, to plan your diet. So in summary, what I want to summarize that, like we say, medicine has a side effect, so is food. So choose your food wisely. Jai Guru.
जय गुरु चित्त भाई, बहुत अच्छा.
Thank you for enlightening us with the principles of Swasthya and Sadachar, health and hygiene.